Oh, frick. Hey, and welcome to the Spitter Swallow Beer Review. Shagdog's here once again. Do another fine Oktoberfest. This is Brooklyn Brand Brewery's Oktoberfest. Brooklyn Brand. That's how Jammer used like to say it. Brooklyn Brand. But Brooklyn Brewery's their Oktoberfest. I've had it many, many times. It's a Marzen. Beer Advocate gives it an 82. If you actually look at its old logo, it actually was just blue and white checkers with a red circle and a B in there. Same thing, pretty much, except for it didn't have that. Anyhow, yeah, it gets to 82. It's a Marzen Oktoberfest, 5.5% ABV. It talks about the history of the Bavarian, how Oktoberfest came about. And then Brooklyn Oktoberfest says it's true to the original style, full-bodied and malty with a bready aroma and light, brisk hop bitterness. And on the can, it says Brooklyn Oktoberfest owns the classic Marzen style and New York accent, sweet malts and German noble hops. Make it the perfect something for the fall occasion or something like that. And it says malty, snappy, and festive. Visit us at brooklynbrewery.com. God, I need some glasses. Whew. All right. Yeah, so let's get into this one. Not the greatest Oktoberfest I ever had, but not bad for an American-made one. And a lot of the Brooklyn Brewery beers are not too bad. They're just hard to find. I mean, we first started doing beer reviews in 2011, 2012, 13, maybe up to about 2014. We were finding a lot of their beers down in Florida, but I guess maybe that lull in 2016, 17, whenever it was, because craft beers didn't have to go through distributors in Florida up until 2016, 17, something like that. So maybe a lot of them said, well, we're not paying the middleman and stop sending all their beers and just send their top beers, because usually you would see the 2 or 3 Brooklyn beers, but a lot of the other ones, like the Pinstripe, or was it Pennant? I forget what the hell it was. Brooklyn Pennant Ale, I think it was called. I can't remember. Or maybe it was a Pinstripe. I can't remember. Anyhow. Yeah, so, yeah, look at that. That's a little darker. Kind of got that rusty copper look there. Nice head, 2-finger head. Definitely it's more a tannish than an off-white. Yeah, more of a tan beige head. A little bit of whitiness to it. A little bit of whitiness in there. But, yeah, mostly a tan or beige head. And this will be a good one, I'm hoping. I had it last year, but I've had it a couple times. Yeah, not a whole lot of aroma on it. You do pick up the malty, bready, maybe a little bit of sweetness. Not a lot of aroma on that. Well, yeah, bready, dark bread, malty, sweetness. There you go. Let's get into it, right? Prost, and thanks to my 2 viewers. You guys rock. Yeah, now that's a Marzen. American-made Marzen, but pretty good. A nice, not like overwhelming, but a nice dark, like Roma meal breadiness to it. A little malty, bready, a slight sweetness, not very sweet at all, but yeah. This is the type of Oktoberfest I like as a Marzen. And this one is a pretty good one for an American-made one, I think. Not overwhelming, not underwhelming, just right. Kind of like Goldilocks and the 3 bears, not beers. Goldilocks and the 3 beers. That'd be a good show. Yeah, I hope I'm coming through audio wise because I have my mic a little further away from me than I usually do. Hopefully that's all right. Hopefully that's all good. Yeah, thanks for the comment. But, oh yeah, it's early. I do beer reviews in the morning because I work nights. Don't get a lot of viewers on here, but I do appreciate any viewers. Hopefully Jammer will be back on this week or next week. We need him back on. It's been over 3 weeks. August 9th was the last time Jammer did a beer review. We need him back on the show. Oh, I can't bring up my calendar. My computer's going so slow. I need a new computer. I'm starting to save up for a new computer. I don't want to charge anything, so I'm trying to save up for a new computer before I'm not charging a damn computer. That's for sure. I can't afford one. What the fuck? Oh yeah, so September 9th, or not September, August 9th was the last time Jammer did a beer review. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Friday was 3 weeks. So this Friday will be 4 weeks since Jammer did a beer review. So if you want Jammer back on, leave a comment. I give him a little slack though. He's a little under the weather for a little bit. His job schedule is not conducive to getting on here. That's why when he was on here a couple times, he did like 2 or 3 beers because he's doing them after work. Usually on the weekends, it's family time for Jammer, so he can't get on here and do any beer reviews on the weekends. I don't know what he's going to do with his new schedule because, well, right now he has weekends off, but I think he's supposed to be doing a night shift eventually, which I'm not sure if he's going to have weekends off or some odd weekdays off. Hopefully he has like Wednesday, Thursdays off. Then we can do some beer reviews, especially if it's Wednesday. But as usual, I'll probably have to rearrange my schedule to Jammer's. That's how it always goes. Yeah, this is a pretty good one. Not a real high score on Beer Advocate, but you know, sometimes computers have their own. 82, I'd probably be close to that. Surprisingly, on Beer Advocate, out of all the Marzens, it's ranked 310. Out of all the Marzens, it's the 310th best Marzen, which that's debatable on Beer Advocate because there'll be some. You have to have only so many certain reviews, and if it has, I don't know, what it's got to have 50 reviews or 100 reviews. If the local brewery, small craft brewery, 100 people get down here, and everybody gives it a 100 or 95 from that area, it's going to have a high score. So, yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah, so like I said, malty breadiness, slight caramel. Little bit of a sweet taste. This one, I mean, it's all right. So if you want just a pretty easy drinking Marzen, I say go ahead and get it. I probably concur. I'd give it a straight up B and a swallow. Probably go to B plus if it had a little bit more robustness in it. But it's pretty easy drinking Marzen. Another good one if you, haven't had a Marzen before. I think that this might work for you. A good intro Marzen, I would say. A good intro, not just a Marzen. Oh, this kind of tastes like a Marzen, but yeah, it's a good intro Marzen. Yeah, so shout out to all my fans. You know who you are. And I might do one more beer review called a Labor Day, have like jokes and maybe a little labor history. And I don't know. I just don't know much about Labor Day's history. So I'll have to read it for the first time too. We just got to get this one down before we finish the video. Yeah, I think I drank a Sierra Nevada Fest beer earlier. I think they need to switch back to the Marzen or make both at least. I guess they don't make the Marzen anymore. So now there's one beer I can't get it down here down the south. Pyramid Brewing, I think it's called Pyramid Brewery. I had their Oktoberfest back in like 2013. I went up to New York and one of my cousins went out and bought a 6-pack of that for 5 of us to split. We were like, that's all the beer you got? Then we sent them back out and he got something else. But it wasn't too bad of a Oktoberfest beer, if I recall correctly. Then I went beer shopping before I headed back down to Florida. I was hoping to find that one, but I couldn't find it. Of course, I was staying in a different town, so that was a town that was like 20, 30 miles away. So yeah, cheers, everybody. Cheers. Bam. Brooklyn. No sleep to Brooklyn, y'all. Anybody hear Motley Crue redid You Gotta Fight for Your Right to Party or whatever? Horrible. If you're gonna pick some old song to do, the best songs that they should know from experience, Smoking in the Boys' Room, at least people my age at that point, 12, 13 years old in 1980, what year did that shit come out? 84, 85, I can't remember. Maybe 85. Home Sweet Home, Theater Pain album. Smoking in the Boy Rooms. I didn't know that was somebody else did that song. I thought that was a Motley Crue song to begin with. When you do a cover song and you're already an established band, you probably should do, or somewhat established, you're getting there. You probably should do a cover song that not too many other younger, well, I might be wrong because I'm old, so maybe some of the younger generation today never heard it. So maybe they heard that for the first time. You Gotta Fight for Your Right to Party by Motley Crue, and they're like, "Wow, this is pretty cool. You gotta fight for your right to party." Gen Z rocks and millennials and whatever hell the other generation is. I'll probably have to do a review on that album someday. License to Ill. Pretty good. No sleep to Brooklyn. First time me and Jammer did a Brooklyn beer. I can't remember which beer it was by them. It might have been the Brooklyn Lager. And we were trying to do New York accents, and somehow I guess we're coming out like New Englanders because someone says that doesn't sound New York. That sounds more New England. We're doing the forget about it and all that stuff, and yeah, that'd be a fun video to watch. Brooklyn brand. Forget about it. Interesting notes about Brooklyn as before we close this out. Brooklyn was once an independent city before it merged with New York City in 1898. Brooklyn was a separate city with its own government. If you go back and watch the Welcome Back Kotter TV show, though, it's something in the intro, even though it's part of New York, I guess, according to Welcome Back Kotter, it was considered the 4th or 5th largest city in the U.S. If you took, I guess, Brooklyn away from New York, it would have been the 4th largest city or something like that on its own. Something like that. I can't remember. If you know anything about Welcome Back Kotter, let me know. Brooklyn. The first roller coaster was built in Brooklyn's Coney Island. Switchback Railway, built in 1884, was the first roller coaster in the world. I guess that's what the roller coaster was called, Switchback Railway. Brooklyn has a secret underground tunnel system. The Atlantic Avenue Tunnel, built in 1844, is hidden network of tunnels beneath Brooklyn. I didn't know that. Did you? No. You would think the only tunnels under New York subways, but apparently that's not even a subway. So the first teddy bear, which by the way was named after or made after Teddy Roosevelt, was made in Brooklyn in 1902. Morris Mitchtom created the first stuffed animal inspired by Theodore Roosevelt's bear hunting story. Brooklyn is home to the oldest continuously operating carousel. The 1906 carousel in Prospect Park has been in operation for over 115 years. Now, has it ever been down for repairs and stuff like that? I don't know. But continuously in operation, pending any repairs or anything. The first commercial airline flight took off from Brooklyn in 1911. The St. Petersburg Tampa Airboat Line began operating flights from Brooklyn's Coney Island. So, yeah, New Yorkers were headed down to Florida as far back as 1911. Brooklyn has a little Pakistan. The neighborhood of Midwood is home to one of the largest Pakistani American communities in the U.S. Wow. Did not know that. The iconic Brooklyn Bridge was originally intended to be a tunnel before its construction. Engineers considered building a tunnel instead of a suspension bridge. That would have been interesting, the Brooklyn Tunnel. The first, now we went from Pakistanis, now we're going to a different ethnic group, I guess you could say. The first Hasidic Jewish community was established in Brooklyn in 1940. The Satmar Rebbe founded the first Hasidic community in Williamsburg, which I guess is part of Brooklyn. And the 10th rare fact about Brooklyn is it's home to the world's first veggie pizzeria, the V Spot. Opened in 2006, was the first pizzeria to serve exclusively vegan pizzas. And there you have it right there. Let's check the greatest athletes of Brooklyn. Let's check that. Let's just do it one time. The greatest athletes of Brooklyn.
Professional athletes frequently mentioned on the web include.
Don't say anything. Girl, I want to say it. Oh, well, no, I guess some of these people are actually born, and I was thinking they were going to kind of. I didn't even know that one either. Wow. Okay, let's go through this. Chris Mullin played for St. John's University. I didn't know he was from Brooklyn. Also played for the Golden State Warriors. Did he play for any? I think he played for the Pacers and the Knicks at one. I know he played for the Pacers at one time, right? I can't remember shit. Shit, I don't know. Anyhow. Yeah, next one. Connie Hawkins. Plays for the Phoenix Suns. I'm not sure if he's current. I've never heard of him. Anyhow. Next one. Sandy Koufax. Los Angeles Dodgers. You've heard of him. And he used to play, or he came from Brooklyn. Floyd Patterson. Yeah, Olympic gold medalist. From Brooklyn. Sid Luckman, Columbia Lions football. That was a long time ago when Columbia had Lions. Wait, Hoyt, don't know him. Joe Torre played for the Milwaukee Braves. He was that far back that he played for Milwaukee Braves, and then of course he was a manager for the Yankees. Did he die, Joe Torre? Is he still alive? I don't know. Let's check Joe Torre. I don't want to go to him. Okay, Stephon Marbury, another basketball player from Brooklyn. Bernard King played for the Knicks, Brooklyn. John Sally, Toronto Raptors. I think he played for Detroit Pistons at one time too, I think. Yeah, Brooklyn. Carmelo Anthony, Brooklyn. Lyle Alzado, former Oakland Raider, and then the Denver Broncos, Brooklyn. Lance Stevenson, Indiana Pacers. Never heard of him. Brooklyn. Paul Loduca. Hey, Loduca. You got to be from Brooklyn. Sam Perkins, the basketball player. I didn't even know he was from Brooklyn. I thought he was from. Didn't he play for Virginia Cavaliers when he was in college? I figure he might have been from Virginia. Brooklyn. Jamal Tinsley, Utah Jazz. Never heard of him, but he's from Brooklyn. I'm just trying to go through ones I heard of now. I'll go through the names real quick because some of you might have heard of some of these people. Richard McGlory, Dwayne Washington, Joy Harris, Irma Garcia, Laura Staines, Dorothy Locke, Jean Balakas, Nancy Lieberman, Heather Hardy, Eleanor Holm, Epiphany Prince, Natasha Hastings, Bob Falkenberg, Jack Kaiser, Sherry Toussaint, Garrison Reed, Danny Limelight, that's a good name, Floyd J. Egan, Amir Sabdola, Chris Aherns, Lawrence Mosley, Frank Layden, Jeffrey Checks, John Beck, Billy Cunningham. I remember him, 76ers hit. Ed Maley, Barry Kirk Jackman, John got him stuttering, Gagliardi, Vinnie Johnson, Rudy LaRusso, Rolando Blackman. That name sounds familiar. Jim McMillan, World Be Free. I remember him, a basketball player. I forget what his original name was. Well, Roger Brown and Leroy Ellis. Guess what? All Brooklyn. I'm surprised Brooklyn don't have as more famous people. But anyhow, there you go. Let's check out any actors and famous people from Brooklyn. Let's do it. Here we go. Number 1, Adam Sandler, Brooklyn. Singer, I don't know any of her music. I'm probably going to pronounce her name wrong. Aaliyah, Brooklyn. Eddie Murphy, Brooklyn. Anne Hathaway, Brooklyn. Michael Jordan is not from Brooklyn. Famous people. Maybe he was born in Brooklyn and the family moved to North Carolina. That's all I'm going to guess. Notorious B.I.G., Brooklyn. Lena Horne, don't know her. She was born in 1917, but guess what? Brooklyn. Lil' Kim, Brooklyn. Marissa Tomei, yeah, girl, I love you. Brooklyn. Michelle Williams, I don't know who she is because it's a white lady named Michelle Williams. Born in 1980, don't know who she is. Brooklyn. Adam Yauch, that's one of the Beastie Boys. Is that? That's Ad Rock, right? Yeah. Brooklyn. Al Capone, Brooklyn. Barry Manilow, Brooklyn. One of Jammer's favorite actors. Well, not one of his favorite actors, but he liked him. Dom DeLuise, Brooklyn. Harvey Keitel, Brooklyn. Joan Rivers, yeah, Brooklyn. That just proves, Joan Rivers, you can't kill a Brooklynite unless you put him to sleep. Brooklyn. Larry David, Brooklyn. Mike Tyson, Brooklyn. Mos Def, most definitely Brooklyn. Neil Diamond, Sweet Carolina? No, Brooklyn. Nora Jones, Brooklyn, and Rita Hayworth. Booyah, Brooklyn. I'm sure there's probably more, but there you go. Brooklyn. No sleep to Brooklyn. Now, where did the other BC boys come from? Where did MCA come from? Not NCAA. Where did Beastie Boy MCA come from? Just says New York City. Anyhow, I'm not gonna. Maybe they're all going to Ad Rock's house to no sleep to Brooklyn. But that's to all my Brooklynites. I've never been to Brooklyn. I don't think I've been to Brooklyn. I've been to New York, but let's Google Maps, Brooklyn. Let's see if I've been to Brooklyn, because I can tell you just by looking at the map. Yeah, I think I have. Let's see. There's Manhattan. No, I haven't been to Brooklyn. I've only been to Manhattan and Staten Island. I think that's it. I didn't go into Queens. I didn't go to Brooklyn. Yep. I didn't go to the Bronx. Yeah, Manhattan and Staten Island. I've been by the Brooklyn Bridge, but we didn't go across, of course. Staten Island, that little island right there, right? Yep. No sleep to Staten Island. Hey, the Impractical Jokers are from Staten Island, all right. Brooklyn. What a great name. Man, I wish the Dodgers would move back to Brooklyn. Too bad. I mean, the New Jersey Nets became the Brooklyn Nets. It'd be great if the Dodgers went back to Brooklyn. Because I'm a Dodgers fan. I'm not sure why. I think my older brother, was a big Yankees fan when we were a kid, so I didn't want to have the same team as him. So I picked the Dodgers. They used to be Brooklyn or in Los Angeles. Yeah, the Dodgers. I became a fan of the Dodgers. I almost became a Red Sox fan thanks to my stepfather. Cousin was a big Red Sox fan. Rest in peace, David. But somehow I just switched to the Dodgers. And I think they lost to the Yankees in a 78 World Series, I believe it was, or 77. But in the 81 World Series, they beat the Yankees, and I officially became a full-time Dodgers fan at that point. But I don't really watch baseball anymore. I only think the Dodgers won the World Series. I know they've been to a couple last few years, but I don't think they won. They haven't won one since 88. Last time the Dodgers won a World Series. Oh, they did win in 2021. Oh, that's right. I forgot they're playing the Rays that year. That's right. That's right. I just wasn't really paying attention. I mean, even though I knew they were in, I forgot about it because I wasn't paying attention. Yeah. I was just happy they beat the Rays because I was living by Tampa at that time. I don't watch baseball anymore. I think it's because I'm older. I work night shifts. I'm not up in the afternoon. I'm working in the evening when baseball games are on. So it's been like that my whole life, even with football. It's just sad. Sad. Now, I did have a few-year period there when I had Saturday, Sunday nights off. So I was watching. I got back in the NFL for a few years. And I started keeping up with it. And then, of course, at one point, we switched every other weekend. I was still trying to keep up with it. I had every other weekend off. And then when I quit that job, I had every weekend off. Or I was still working occasionally on the weekends, but just got out of sports for some reason. It's all a circus and bread type thing anyhow. If you really think about it, why are they paying these guys so much money? Most of these guys come from poor, not all of them, but a lot of them, poor areas or middle class, upper middle class. Nobody's rich. I mean, some of them might have some rich families, but most of them are just average people. And you're paying them $6 million a year. Why? Of course, I know why, because the owners are getting so much money. So, of course, how many years ago did the top player I made $300,000 a year or whatever? Yeah. Let's see who's the first player to break $100,000 a year. Who was the first athlete to get $100,000 a year? Joe DiMaggio was the first player to get $100,000 a year. Let's see, $500,000. Who was the first player to make $500,000 a year? I should have said athlete. Who was the first athlete to make $500,000 a year? Oh, shit. Who was the first athlete to make $500,000 a year? Well, I heard Mike Schmidt when I said player, but Yeah, I don't like Quora sucks. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Who was the first athlete to make $500,000 a year? There we go. I think it might have been Mike Schmidt. I saw one site that said Mike Schmidt. Who was the first athlete to make $1 million a year? Dave Parker of Pittsburgh Pirates, 1978. Signed a 5-year deal for $5 million, making him the first professional athlete to earn $1 million a year. Dave Parker. Yep. Wow. So and then from there, just got higher and higher. I want $5 million. I want $6 million. I want $10 million. I don't even know. Who's the highest paid athlete? Soccer player Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm not going to tell you how much he makes, but estimated 260 million over the last. He earned an estimated 260 million in the last 12 months. Yeah, making him the highest paid athlete in the world for the 4th time in his career. Outrageous. Circus of bread, man. Circus of bread. They're going to keep going higher and higher because, you know, it takes your mind off things and puts it to the athlete. Guess what? Some of the owners and the political people and corporation CEOs and all that type of stuff make way more than that. And you don't know about it. All right. Highest paid athletes. Yeah. Shit, I'd be happy to make fucking 100,000 a year. It's just weird that some people, are blessed with that. Some people didn't even do anything in their life to get that kind of blessing. They just get it. Granted, they have athletic skills and all that. If you're the best, you're gonna get it. But who pushes them? Is it self? Some of those athletes push themselves. Nobody's coaching them, or they start off, or then some of them are naturally gifted. Because there's even some athletes that are really naturally gifted, but they go astray. They probably could have been the best basketball player in the world or best football player or whatever, and they get in high school, college, or right before, or at the early years in the pros, and they get a big injury, or college, drunk driving, drugs, whatever. And there goes their career. What sets that path there? Like, well, that one, well, this one, I don't want him to. The good Lord say, this one, we got to have this one have some trouble. Or is it all just luck? Crazy. Look at certain football players like Tom Brady. I don't think Tom Brady, watching him, he doesn't look like that great of a quarterback. He's like stiff as hell and not as stiff as Peyton Manning, but not very mobile or athletic. But he just got the ball downfield, and that's all it took. And he rarely got injured. One year he was out pretty much a lot of the season, but besides that year, he didn't miss a lot of time. Is he playing football again? I heard he was coming back. Is Tom Brady playing football again? No, he didn't. He sounded the possible return, but I don't think he did. Okay, good. Stay retired. Jesus. At least Peyton Manning's funny. All right, that's it for Shagdog Spitter Saw Beer Review. I'm sorry, this one went way too long. talk about Labor Day stuff and highest paid athletes and Lord knows what else. I might do another drinking and thinking video. I'm not sure. We'll see on the next one. Spitter Swallow Beer Review. Happy Labor Day. Labor Day Festival. Oh.
Enthusiast Polka by the United States Marine Band.